They're freaking out. It's nuts. As I said, bring a Kleenex because you might cry from the nostalgia at some point in the night.
I love it. I mean, for me, it's like, okay, we got the gang back together. Where's the reboot?
Everyone wants to know. I mean, there's nothing happened yet, but there's a lot of talk. I mean, we all talk about it for fun. You know, nothing's official, but we all talk about it for fun.
Yeah, I think it's that show will always hold such a special place in our heart. And that feeling and that love for one another in the show will never, ever, ever go away.
Because David, as a filmmaker, I mean, you could do the whole thing. You could write in it, you could star in it, you can direct it. Where would you want to see a reboot? Like, what would you want to see in a reboot?
Well, we've talked about it, Greg, Selena, me, Jake, and I think what we said is like what made the show special was that we were a family and that the family stuck together as like a family unit. And so I think a great place to start the show would be the opposite version of that. So you have somewhere to go throughout the series. So if you started the show where the family's divided and not united, Justin's off doing his thing at WizTech. He's probably got a family. He's busy with his duties. Alex is like a fashionista, like the Meryl Streep of the wizard world. Like she's doing her thing. And Jake is like a sub shop conglomerate. Like he is like the Subway of sub shops. If you have everyone in their own world doing their own stuff and we've forgotten how to be a family, that would be a great place to start the show. And also Alex, one of the big things is Alex can't find love until Mason comes back in the picture.
The accent's still as strong too, you know.
Everyone would be down, but it's just a matter of time, I think.
Right.
And Disney, you know, we got to talk to them too.
Well, I think, you know, after this whole reunion that you guys are having now, this is the perfect segue for that.
I love it. I love it.
You know, a lot of fans have something to look forward to. You have this feel-good movie coming out. So can you guys give us a little overview of what fans can expect from your new movie?
Bring Kleenex because you might cry from all the nostalgia you're going to get in one evening. You know, Greg and I had a 1,000-screen release planned for the film. And when COVID happened, we lost out on it. And it was a big bummer to all of us because the movie is really meant to make people feel good. And right now, people don't feel very good being, you know, all alone in their homes or locked in their rooms. So hopefully this movie now will make people feel just that. We pivoted, we created a whole new model where essentially you'll get to live the premiere with myself, Greg, Selena, all the actors, a performance by Lovely the Band, and Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio hosting one portion of it. So we, you know, necessity is the mother of all invention, and we created this platform where fans actually get to go to the premiere. They've never been able to do that before, ever. So now they'll actually get to, thousands and thousands of people will watch the movie with us all live.
I think what's really special about it is the fact that I've been to premieres in the past and you know, you get to see the fans outside, but on this occasion, they're in it with us. They are live with us, and I think that's really, really cool.
Just by purchasing a ticket, you've contributed to the +1 COVID-19 Relief Fund.
Get tickets for our exclusive live digital premiere event on August 28th at thisistheyear.film, where you'll watch the movie with us. Selena is partnered with the +1 COVID-19 Relief Fund. And within that, there are many different organizations, and we selected two that we felt were kind of near and dear to the message of the film. So one is the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, because the film has a lot of music in it, and the other is the World Central Kitchen, which helps provide food for families, especially for children as well, who are all dealing with COVID-19 issues. So we're really excited to be benefiting the +1 COVID-19 Relief Fund.
It's a win-win, you know. I really love the charity aspect of this because I don't think many premieres sort of can really tap into the charity aspect of a premiere. So I think we not just could be the first ever premiere that is sort of live, but I think it could be one of the first that actually are able to help out too at the same time.
And a little bit about the movie. Greg, can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, I actually posted on Instagram a couple of hours ago about Kale, my character.
Kale.
My character's called Kale. But David also had a big part with regards to writing the script, and so I thought he just would get a lot of enjoyment out of writing a character called Kale for me. So Kale, I basically described Kale as a person who loves his street art even more than he loves himself. He's extremely narcissistic, is all about himself, and I think that with Alyssa's character in the movie, you will see a lot of comedy come from that because she's such a sweetheart, and at the end of the day, the audience root for Alyssa to find love, and I think it's clear to see that Kale is the valuable valuable lesson in what not to go for. And I don't want to give too much away, but you'll see.
Just to add on to what Greg's saying there, I was so happy that Gregg accepted the role and wanted to play Kale, because to me it helped show the Gregg that I know, not in terms of the character, but in terms of how funny Gregg is. Not the narcissistic, not any of that stuff, but Gregg's actually a very funny guy and has like very cheeky British humor. And I feel like with a lot of the roles that he does so great on and should continue doing, he hasn't gotten to show a lot of that. So I really loved getting to see Gregg play a different color in his palette. He's a great actor, and I love that he got to do something a little outside the box, if you will. And he did an awesome job. He was like a Russell Brand kind of funny street artist, and he really knocked it out of the park.
That is so fun. Now, how was it working together again? I mean, I already imagine it was fun, just the way you guys already talked about it, but how was it?
Honestly, one of the best, if not the best experience of my life when it comes to a film set. I'm not just saying this because David's on the Zoom, but to see such a close friend of yours just excel in what he has always dreamed of doing, which is directing. It's like the whole crew rooted for David. David rooted for the crew. It was just literally like a very magical feeling being on set, and that wasn't a pun, by the way. It was genuinely like a magical. But it was special. David is 100% a born director, and I felt completely safe and comfortable in David's directorial hands, and I loved it.
Well, when you work with great actors, it's easy because all of Gregg's takes that we ended up using were the ones where I said to him, just forget everything I said, just do whatever you want. And that was all. That's all the stuff that we used. He was so funny, and he had so much great improv too.
And David, you brought up Selena, and she signed on as an executive producer of the film. So what did it mean to you to have that kind of support?
It was great. You know, it was kind of an organic process, almost similar to Gregg. Like, Gregg and I are good friends. We hang out, we talk about what we're up to. So Gregg had been hearing about this movie for a long time, you know, and the same thing with Selena. She'd just been hearing about the movie and giving me advice and saying, oh, look at this cast member, listen to this song. And when she finally saw the movie, she just loved it and thought the message was so good, especially for young women. She was like, look, this is an empowering message of authentic female friendship that I think needs to be told. And a lot of times girls don't get that type of imagery from movies. And so, especially older 80s or coming of age movies, you didn't get a lot of that female depth and arcs that you needed. And I credit a lot of that to Sienna Aquilini, our writer, who did a great job really honing the female voices in and helping it. And she's been great. She's been such a strong supporter of the film and has really come on board and contributed creatively and had all sorts of great ideas. So it's been a really nice organic evolution. It definitely made us miss the old days. I mean, I'd say that for sure. Like, just being around Gregg when he was doing his lines and stuff, it just made me, or acting in scenes with him in the film, it just made me miss the old days. I used to give Gregg such a hard time when we'd shoot on the show. But, you know, when I was off camera, I'd be whispering or saying things to him or just doing all sorts of random stuff. Definitely made us miss those days for sure.
10 years later, nothing's changed.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
It was, I mean, look, working with someone that you love and you've had that friendship and that friendship has grown over the last decade, there's such power in that, and that's so special. And to be honest, if David had another movie and called me up, which I know David will, David's about to go and become one. I personally believe that David is one of our next future greats when it comes to directing. And I mean it, I'm not just saying it, but like, you know, normally it's not awkward because you're not on a Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, normally I'll be saying this on a phone call, but truthfully, I think that obviously having learned what we did 10 years ago, that has definitely helped us grow into one, the people that we are today, and two, the artists that we are too.